right, understandable. Where does Asia sit in the global renewables community? If you look at the growth regions, you look at the barriers, the challenges, where the opportunities. How does Asia kind of come into that mix compared to other regions?
Yeah, so if we go Asia, I've got to kind of split it out, right? So China's massive. China's 50% of the world. So it's a huge market that's basically the hub of the manufacturing. The only reason this industry exists is because China's able to deliver solar panels at costs that are 20, 30, 40% cheaper than anyone else. So China is really growing very quickly, and there have been some recent announcements of big oil and gas players moving into China. We moved into China for rooftop 2 years ago, and we're starting to see other people move in now.
I was just reading yesterday, I think BP's coming to it,
yeah. So BP linking up with Jinko, I think it is.
Right.
So it was a very interesting move, because Jinko's a massive beast in the solar sector. It's, very good panels.
Do you think it's almost, if you intend to move into the Chinese market, you have to partner up with someone who's locally established?
Absolutely. I think there's a few markets. So the importance of relationships in Asia is difficult to understate, right? So if you're going to go into Japan, you're going to go into China, you're going to go into Korea, any of those markets, if you don't have a local partnership, you're fundamentally going to struggle to scale. The second challenge for me, though, is the tenor. So how long are you thinking? Do you have, so one of the problems that we have in the industry is that there are a lot of people diving in. It's all the big guns have turned and looked at not Asia, but Southeast Asia. So you've got very big Japanese companies looking here, you've got all the oil and gas companies, you've seen some big acquisitions from Petronas, everybody is going, okay, how do we gear up to target this market? Now, some of those investors, some of that money is short term actually. They're looking for 4 or 5 year paybacks. So they want to invest into this 20-year asset and gear it as much as possible to front load the returns. And the way that you can do that is you can reduce the quality of the system, that reduces the cost, and therefore you can get a slightly better return. Or there's different ways to financially engineer it. And we've seen that before, right? In the US, there were some companies that did that sort of 10 years ago, and it was very explosive.
Are you talking about St. Anderson?
I'm probably not going to say a name, but
right.
But, yeah. So the risk that I see is companies, developers that are building projects. They're trying to engineer it in order to get a short-term return, and they actually therefore build projects that are not so great. And we are seeing a backlash, for example, in India. So you're seeing a lot of companies say, I've seen rooftop solar, I know what it's like, there was a fire, there was a leak, there was something went wrong, or the system's just not really generating as much power as we hoped. And I'm not interested anymore. So and that happened also in the US 10 years ago. So we've got to be quite careful about identifying different levels of quality.